We're here in the beautiful city of Pomona in front of the beautiful and historic Fox Theater on the Tira, homie. Just a hometown boy in the hood, homie, sharing a little story on Emmanuel Haro on the Tira. Emmanuel Haro has made it to Pomona, homie. Spence on the Tira. New developments in the case involving the father, Jake Haro. Sightings today. He was in Riverside at the probation department. As you know, we have inside information at the department, and shout out to the homies from the hood. We have insider information that the father's vehicle was quite possibly spotted in Kern County. False! On the Tira. That was a 2-year-old. I don't know how people can't tell a difference between a 7-month-old and a 2-year-old, but I digress. It was not Emmanuel, homie. Emmanuel has been missing since the 3rd. This episode has been brought to you by the number 3, the 3rd, and by the letter E, Emmanuel, and by the letter M, missing, and by the infamous letter H, Hola, has entered the chat. He was, in fact, this morning at the probation department checking in, homie. They said that his car may have been found in Bakersfield. Also, once again, he was in Riverside. I got the footage, but I'm not going to put it because it doesn't matter where that motherfucker's at, because he ain't out looking for his son while he's out confronting stringers and other lame-ass reporters that we got no business being in this other than for their own gain, homie, while others are out here like me really trying to put this thing together. You got people camping out for 16 hours straight in front of the house. What's that gonna do, homie?
So as you guys just heard, Jake had to meet with his probation officer, and I imagine that his PO is not thrilled about everything that Jake has going on right now. But Jake being on probation, it makes it easier for law enforcement to come in and search his home, search his belongings, and what have you. But isn't it crazy that the lawyer has been complaining that the family, they don't got their car, they can't get around. And look, I know that going to your PO is important. I know that Jake has to check in. I get it. But if you can check in with your PO, if you can go to your probation office, you can go search for your son. They're acting as if, oh, Jake and Rebecca, they can't search for their son. They can't go out here and pass out missing persons flyers because law enforcement took their vehicle. Well, he got to the probation office. Best believe, if anything, if I was Jake, if I was in this position, I wouldn't even show up to my PO because I would be too busy searching for my kid. So it shows you that they're capable of doing things when they need to. It's just that searching for Emmanuel is not at the top of their priorities. And look, we don't know where Emmanuel is, where he is. We don't know what happened to him. But all signs right now point towards Emmanuel being missing for at least a couple of weeks. And we don't know that for sure, but that's what it's looking like. Now, as I was saying, Jake and Rebecca and Jake's lawyer, they're out here complaining that no one's looking for Emmanuel. No one is helping them. And we know that, a couple of different groups came in willing to help search for Emmanuel. They were even willing to put up rewards for anyone with information about Emmanuel, but those groups decided to pull out once they noticed that Rebecca was lying and there were inconsistencies in her story. But now that Jake and Rebecca and the lawyer are all complaining all over the news, the lawyer has done like 3 or 4 interviews complaining now. Now these groups are saying, you know what? We will give Jake and Rebecca the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, there's inconsistencies in the story, but we want to find Emmanuel. We will come out there right now, and we will help Rebecca and Jake look for Emmanuel. We will put up the rewards. We will do it all. We will give them the same treatment that we would give any other family whose child went missing. And I like this. I like this a lot, folks, because they're calling Jake and Rebecca's bluff. You can't be out here complaining that no one's helping you. You can't have your lawyer doing these interviews claiming that no one's helping you. You got no way to get around when you got groups out here that are willing to come pick you up, put up thousands of dollars in reward money, and help you search for your kid. So if Rebecca and Jake turn these offers down, which I know they're going to, then that tells us everything we need to know. So their bluff has been called. Now, they discussed this on the news earlier. I want to go ahead and roll this clip really quickly, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
What do you make of the fact that police, on the one hand, are saying the couple has stopped cooperating? The father's lawyer, on the other hand, says, we're doing everything they asked us to do. In fact, we'll come down tomorrow for questioning if you want us to. How can you have two such diametric opposites?
Yeah, well, I'd like to hear from the sheriff's office, what the nature of that lack of cooperation or non-cooperation is, given the lawyer statement that you just referenced. So I would like to hear from them to say what the father has done that or hasn't done that they want him to do, particularly in light of the lawyer saying he's ready and willing to come down. Now, the mother has refused to take a polygraph, like you said, without her lawyer present. Polygraphs are not given usually with lawyers present. It's a one-on-one type of thing with the polygrapher and the subject. So that's concerning. The father's attorney, I believe, may represent him in his prior conviction. He said, I believe he was out on parole and he may have violated or is accused of violating some of his parole conditions. So, so there's a lot of complications in this, but that was a strong statement that nonprofit just gave, saying, come forward and you'll get all the support. Now, if they don't come forward, given that strong statement of support, you have to start to wonder.
Well, it was a couched strong statement of support, Bobby. They said, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt after saying yesterday, sorry, we're out. You guys, this is a problem with the parents here. There are a lot of holes in their account. They're now saying, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you come forward and start to participate in the search, if you come forward and give clear evidence that you're cooperating with police.
Yeah, it's almost like a proffer agreement that a prosecutor's office would give to somebody under suspicion, like come in and we used to call it a Queen for a Day letter and just give us everything you know and then we'll move forward from there. That's kind of, you're right. I mean, it's kind of couched in those terms, but given the initial reticence of cooperation or cooperation and a pullback and then cooperation again, they want to make sure that they don't have their nonprofit kind of, assisting a case where, the parents may be, at fault here.
Yeah, Lauren, what do you make of this tip that came from Kern County, 3.5 hours away, that somebody may have spotted the baby? First of all, it's very hard to spot a baby. They're usually being held by somebody. He's 7 months old. How seriously did the sheriff's department think there was anything to this?
I think that the sheriff's department definitely thought there was something to this, and maybe there still is. Their statement tonight was very vague, saying we know about this sighting, acknowledging to the public, look, we're following, and simply saying, they didn't say it didn't end up in a dead end. They simply said, right now we have not located Emmanuel Haro. Definitely leaving it open-ended and making all of us continue to wonder. I think they're absolutely taking every tip very seriously that's coming in, and I think responding to that tip today also lets us know that they are serious about this tip, despite us not knowing if it led anywhere or not. Right now, Emmanuel has not been located.
No, he's not. And in the meantime, there are plenty of disturbing signs. Police have searched the house. Police have confiscated the father's car. They've confiscated all electronic devices belonging to both parents, who apparently have supplied voluntarily the passwords to those devices. They were searching the property of the home with cadaver dogs, which is never a good sign.
No, never a good sign. And not only that, but as you pointed out in this same statement I brought up, they're saying, and we welcome the parents to help in this investigation, showing us once again that despite what their attorney is saying or what Jake Haro's attorney is saying, detectives are making it clear they aren't helping right now. That's exactly how I took that in this statement tonight.
All right. Bobby Chacon, Laura Matthias, thank you both so much. Such a disturbing story, deeply troubling on so many levels. Appreciate it. Your insight.
Look, I'll be honest with you guys. The lady at the end of that news clip did not know what she was talking about. Law enforcement does not think that there is anything to that sighting of Emmanuel. If they thought that there was something to that, they would not still be on Rebecca and Jake's ass as hard as they are. Law enforcement already has their suspects. And spoiler alert, it's not some guy running around saying hola before knocking people out. No, their suspects are Jake and Rebecca. I don't believe that Emmanuel was spotted. I don't believe there was a sighting at all. If anything, if this tip is real, someone was mistaken, or maybe the tip is fake. Maybe this is Rebecca and Jake playing games, a last-ditch effort to throw people or throw investigators off of their trail. I don't know. But I highly doubt that Emmanuel is still alive, unfortunately. I hate to have to say that, but we kind of knew that from day one when we saw those, I can't say fake tears because there were no tears. So we kind of knew where this was headed from day one. Law enforcement knows too. And just because they're not saying much, you know, of course they're going to tell you they got the tip, but they didn't tell us, well, what's the tip promising? What happened here? Law enforcement isn't taking that tip seriously. Law enforcement is dead set on their investigation into Jake and Rebecca. And they might not say that, but they show that every single day, day in and day out. We're just all waiting for the news that they've been taken in finally. But for now, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.